That does not mean that they are water buffalo. Elephant! Elephant! I beg your pardon. He's drinking water. Oh, he's moving. Okay, we're making too much noise. Boy, are we lucky. Aaron, I think it's when you come out, dude, you bring the ellie.
You must know.
But it's right into the sun, so I'm hoping he's not going to go anywhere. Buffalo are looking at us as though, what about us? They're saying, we here too. It's okay, Buffalo, I'll get you across the back of the elephant. And we'll do a combination. And this elephant is this Norman? Where are you going, Boykie? That's Norman. Norman! Hello. Ah. This is Norman. That was very unexpected. But such a wonderful prize too. And we're going to give him some space and just watch him from here. Turn the radio down. Hello, Norman. Storm and Norman. Who would have thunk?
That way.
No. It's a quote from somebody. Okay. With water, so maybe we need to go where we're going to see. Look, there's the croc. Mildred. She was sitting here. We didn't even have eyes for her, but now she's gone in the water. You just see the ripple where she was.
I heard a splash. I was like, what?
She must have been sitting outside here. I just record anything, because maybe the croc's going to come out. We're going to go down here and see Ellie, and maybe we'll see croc. And there's buffalo. It's actually a beautiful scene here in Langwan Dam for a change. Just for a change. Oh, sorry, the crop. Oh, I'm so scared, Norman. We just want to come and look, dude. I didn't love and Nyari at Langwan Dam. Yeah, I'm getting a Thomas. Did somebody find the dingway again? Okay, copies. Somebody beat us to it. I need a nice photo of Norman. He's always been with others. He's always been with. No, you're not popping in here before you go. I'm not moving, dude. You guys have got a herd of elephant up north. Don't look now, Ryan. The lands are full of gorgeous young women coming around. I mean, I did. I don't know why. Aaron, sorry.
Are they gorgeous?
Yes, they are.
Your age or my age?
I think it's more your. That is awesome. I hope so, Becky. Have we got a card in the machine? Norman! Only now we got. Yes. And we're waiting for the crocodile to show its face. Seems to be putting water on his foot. I wonder if he's got a bit of an injury.
Trying to sign language to us.
Yeah. Not happy with the vehicle, just racing in there and racing out. That's the way of modern game rangers. We're going to race down to find the leopard, then we're going to race up to the lion, and then we're going to race back to the other elephant, and then we're going to race back to the cheetah, and then we're going to race back to camp, and then we're going to rush this never mind. In the meantime, we'll just chase the elephant away. He's moving up to possibly that little dam. Concapan. It was so nice and peaceful. I should have kept my mouth shut. But I get probably into trouble more by keeping my mouth shut than do by not keeping my mouth shut. What? Oh, croc's coming. Okay, let's go and have a look at croc. Well, good. So nice to see you, girl. Maybe she's going to come out. Maybe I'm in the wrong place for her to come out, because then we need to see her there. Because she's coming onto this bank. Maybe if I go there and dangle my toes in the water, she'll come out.
I dare you.
Yeah, the dragonfly just landed on her nose. And now everybody's converging on the poor leopard, and they're going to chase them into thick bush. And there must have been, 12 youngsters on that vehicle? None of them here for the bush. It's just one big party for them.
Haven't seen you pretty gold though.
No, the sun was in my eyes. I didn't look anyway. I think she's going to come out. I know. I'm going to go back a little bit. Crocodilian. But now she decided to hide behind that one little One little piece of grass. See why I don't make plans? Because my plans have just been shot.
English gentlemen.
Come on, Mildred.
Yeah, crocodile. Yeah, girly. It's about the best almost the best we've seen her actually. Oh, and this big stick in front of her is actually a stranded Stichosaurus.
What?
This dead stick thing?
Yeah.
It's really a dead tree. It's a dormant Stichosaurus.
Supposed to be a joke.
No. Not a joke. Trust me. A number of our viewers will tell you all sorts of stories about Stichosaurus at Gari Dam. That was supposed to be a Stichosaurus that's coming out of the water there in the middle of this dam, but it's proving to be one big lump of log, so maybe it's a Logosaurus, a Logodactyl. In fact, the shape of this is very similar to the Stichosaurus of Gari Dam. You see, it was in the dam, and then the varying heights of the water changed the appearance of the stick. And there used to be Hippo and her baby that used to move around it.
Really?
And sometimes when they were underwater, the stick would move of its own accord. So we'd have on the dam, on the dam camera, also the waterhole cam, you'd have the stick moving and making ripples in the water. And only a while later, a hippo would pop its head up.
Want to try and get another view? I don't know. Or will you scare a little crocodile away?
We can try. Go down here a little bit.
I think it's this little bush here that's the problem with the camera.
Which little bush?
This one right in front of you, yeah.
This?
Yeah, well...
You mean if we go down?
To the gap here maybe, then we can...
If we go down there, they should have...
Okay, cool.
Coming now.
Pretty good. Come on, don't be shy. Okay, fine, be like that.
Yes, I think you should cut it. There's a different channel. Open the mouth. Can you see that canine tooth in the front there? That's her fourth canine. That's her fourth, not canine, but her fourth tooth. That in crocodile that just protrudes above the outside of the jaw. That's what makes a crocodile a crocodile. There's that fourth tooth in the jaw. Looks like a serious underbite. And every crocodile seems to need some dental work, but that's the way crocodiles are. I suppose it helps with grip.
Correct.
When they're holding on to slippery fish or something. Now, a lot of crocodiles, their main diet is catfish, tilapia, aquatic things, frogs maybe when they're very small. It's only when they get to be monsters of 15, 18 feet that they need to eat wildebeest and zebras. And impala goes down almost whole. I could do a Steve Irwin and just rush down there and jump on her back and wrestle her in the mud. And then pick her up and kiss her and say, beautiful creature. Maybe tomorrow. Look at that. Did you get the glint in the eye there? Look at her eye. Beautiful. Crocodile's eyes are really special. Whirligig beetle just at her face. Brave, or just eyes are too big for its tummy. So we are looking at a living dinosaur here, everybody. We are looking at a creature that has not changed, hasn't found the need to change, hasn't had anybody challenging its position as an alpha predator of the freshwater environment. In what, 250 million years? Millions of years. Here Norman feeding. He's come around the other side of the dam. There was. We're going to go find him now. There's no point in going anywhere near where that leopard has been was found again, because there are so many vehicles down there that she's decided to take a duck into some thick bush and they haven't been able to find her again. Starting to understand the leopards now and realize how lucky we were when a couple of times when I was tracking them and I found them. What's wrong, crocodile? No feathers to play with, no friends. Crocodiles are not really that friendly that they need friends. We're in her shade, or rather we're in her sun. She's coming into our shade now. Obviously a little sandbar where she is now. Yeah, but you can see. It's not that small, eh? See how big she is when she comes, just coming over that little sandbar. So there's a plant sticking up that she's just brushed with her tail, and that must have been sort of at least nearly maybe 8 feet behind her snout. Why don't you climb out for us, girl? There we go. Oh my word, look at this. Oh my word, look at this. In our presence. This is epic. Now, I want to tell you about a unique feature of crocodiles that no other reptiles have got. That no other reptile is able to swing their legs through 90 degrees off of the ilium and the ischium, the hip bone, to raise themselves off of the ground like that. Oof. Coming to get a little bit of, just a little bit of late afternoon sun. I can't believe how lucky we are. What patience does for you.
And it's not that great. She's half in the sun and half in the shade and all. I think if I laid down and I had the top of my head where her snout is, I would come, my knees would probably be at her, I guess maybe she's about 7 foot. She's probably, not much bigger than me. My head where her head is, my shoulders where her shoulders are, my hips where her hips are, and then my legs about as long as her tail. So she's probably just about 6 feet, I'd say, maybe a bit more. Kind of hard. She's giving me a grin now of note. To post on Facebook. She's really a pretty crocodile. Oh, that was magic. But to see how it's magic. Okay. Question, Becky. What question have you got for me? I can't go anywhere because then I'm going to frighten her back into the water. No. Question coming in from Rhode Island. Hello, Gail. What's Rhode Island best known for? Trying to think. I can't think. Well, the one thing it is Rhode Island Reds. I used to have Rhode Island Reds. They're the best egg layers. In fact, there's a photo of me on one of my Facebook albums of me and my Rhode Island Reds. They're a particular type of hen, laying hen, and I used to eat the eggs. Shame to say. But Gail was asking, is there any way to tell the age of the elephant that we just saw? And yes, Gail, there is actually. We can sort of look at his size. He's not a full-grown elephant. He's still a fairly young elephant. We can't really tell by the size of his tusks because tusks size is more genetic than it is related to age. But having said that, obviously through age the tusks grow longer and longer, so he would have to be a certain age to have tusks at least as long as he has. I'd estimate him to be maybe in his mid-20s, not quite 30, based on his size and his demeanor, that sort of thing. I'm just amazed that he hasn't left any tracks anywhere. And I'm also amazed that he's just disappeared without a trace. And so we're going to go find him before it gets too late. Since Mildred is now chosen to come out of the water, we're not really going to see much more out of her. Certainly no playing with feathers today. Not to my knowledge. The eyes are closed. There we go. Good night. What she's doing is she's storing solar energy right now. Oops, I woke her up. I opened again. Hopefully she wouldn't mind me starting up. That's quite a grin, isn't it?
I'm on Tuesday.
Don't touch me on my studio. You know the story of that place?
Yeah, I know that story.
Okay. Elephant time. Elephant sunset. I owe a few people an elephant sunset. Let's go find him and ask him if we can spend the rest of the afternoon with him. Oh, there's buffalo. They're moving away from the water. They're heading out for grazing. That was really incredible.
Got that off the
I hope so, because there's another red light.
No.
It was. Okay, Mildred, we're starting up the figure. Hope you don't actually record this just in case she does. I don't want to scare her, but it might. On the other hand, after 250 million years, there's probably very little that scares a crocodile. Bye-bye, girl. Thank you for your time. And you can thank me for mine. What would be nice to do is actually maybe get a shot from here to get the, not only the face but the width. Because she's not a small. If we can get a. I don't know if we're able to. There might be too many grasses in the way. But from about there, you might get a view of her good. Hey, she's fat. She's a healthy crocodile. Yeah, there's just too much in the way.
She rolled back a bit.
It would have to be, if we could, that could be worse, but we won't see the width of her. But it's just a different angle.
Yeah, cut away.
Mildred Gertrude, what did I call her? No. Mildred Gertrude.
Next man to the third.
You know what I think? I think that maybe because we've been coming to Longwan Dam a lot and she's heard our vehicle, I think she's got used to the jigger. Yeah, I think she's got used to the sound and that's why she's letting us do this. Whereas before she was slipping into the water, now she's at least sticking around. So maybe we're going to see maybe a bit more of her. Okay, let's go find an elephant.
Bye.
Lucas. So, Becky, anybody want to know anything? Got a question? Got a question? Back to Gail's question, Gail from Rhode Island, about the age of an elephant. Until they're adults, yeah, and the monkeys. The crocodile monkey. Until an elephant is full grown, so until it's about 30 odd, you can more or less gauge the age by its size, as well as the size of its feet. Even calculations to use by the size of its duck, roller. So once they reach sort of adulthood, pretty much like us, in that they fill out and they age, not by getting bigger, but getting fuller, and it gets a little bit more difficult as they get into their 30s and 40s. Only when they start getting to be old men, once they're sort of 50, so an elephant really then showed age once again.
Pull on it. Well done.
Well done.
There's the man. So some of you might remember a little elephant named Wonky back in Puma in the days before I joined, 2008 and early 2009. An elephant that sadly passed the will. He was killed by a big bull early 2009. I think this is the Thornybush equivalent of that elephant. He has a slight genetic deformity with his tusks, but I want to say that very softly. I don't want to give him a complex. But his right tusk is a very straight tusk, and it's very heavily grooved. It's not symmetrical, it's not round like most tusks, it's almost flat. I don't know, where am I going to be able to go that? Maybe forward. And I know at the moment he's hidden, but as he feeds on this teeth and moves, he's going to move into view as I speak. Hello, young man. Barely acknowledging us. Quite happy on his own. He's a young male, he's a bull, he socializes with the herds when he wants to, and being a young bull, he is quite happy on his own for the most part. There's not really much out here that's going to give him trouble. So he can wander around on his own. He's got the size and bulk that can intimidate most things. Even the local lion.
There's like a tree in the way here. Can't really see.
Cut it down.
Yo yo! Cut it down! There we go.
Ooh, I've got a very interesting spider on my flower book. Looks like an ant. Spider. Okay. Concentrate, Marc, there's an elephant now. Oh, it's a really interesting spider. So, I'll pick a spider that looks like an ant. An ant mimic. So rarer than elephant. Although lately elephants have been pretty rare in our book. So they've all been north. We've got first elephants in a few days. And really especially to spend some time with them. Feeding mostly on the bark of young brown-leaf teak. I wouldn't say saplings, it's not exactly saplings, they're just tree tropical. The more the elephants feed on it, the more it repopulates and the more it actually produces food for them for next year. Relatively fast growing, and the bark is very important to them. Fishing. But good luck to you. What's the verb that's attracted you again? Come on. Ready.
Come on, Norman. You say hi.
Good afternoon, Lake. Hang on. I'm doing Dala, doing road, smaller one. So we're going to Malachi. Blake was asking if an elephant breaks its tusk, does it regrow like teeth? Well, I don't know. Like, I don't know what teeth you're thinking of, but I don't know any teeth that break or rather regrow after breaking. How's it, Hendrik? Afternoon, ladies. How are you? Okay, good. Okay, good.
How much?
Yeah, he's just here behind this complete. He's there. Just somebody just. See? Oh my. So, Blake asking what teeth grow back that you know of, Blake, but no, they don't. The thing about elephant tusks is, yes, they continue to grow. They're very unusual in that, with most, or stop talking, in that most teeth reach a particular size and then stop growing. Like ours, our teeth don't continue to grow. They wear down. But yes, with tusks they continue to grow. But so basically what happens is, let me show you. If that was an elephant tusk and it broke, no matter how close to the jaw, it would continue to grow out of the jaw, but the end would not regrow because there's no growth at the end. The growth is inside the jaw. And then, apart from that, if it broke in the jaw, or if it broke close to the jaw, it depends on how the root was damaged, whether it would continue to grow or not. So it's not that it grows again. When an elephant tusk breaks, it just still continues to grow out, it just doesn't have the same shape. So, I don't know where Hendrik has gone, but he's... Oh, there he is. I'm going to get in there to see Norman. I think Norman's happy there.
Mama voor de ingwe.
Okay. Kom hier net in toe.
Ja?
Kom hier net in toe.
Ja, nou.
Ja, I'm getting lean.
Ja, wij willen baatje.
Okay.
Dit is bijna pichana.
That space.
Ja, zo kun je ook aan. Wala ingwe dan heb je voor je.
Okay. Okay, cool. Copy. I think gonna look. I've got 2 microphones plus Becky plus Hendrik talking to me and 2 gorgeous blondes on Hendrik's car. That's completely distracted. Focus, Mark. Listen. Okay, I stretched the truth a little bit, but there is nearly 30 years between us. Okay, camera's pointing a little bit to me.
Got distracted.
No, we boys. Come on, Becky. I just got a message in my ear. Boys, behave. Excuse me, we boys. Oh, come on, Becky. That's what we are. We boys. Unfortunately, that's just the way life works. Okay, distract me with questions, Becky. I don't know what we're going to see from here, but Norman's sitting in front of us. But no, it can't really record. But we can't really get closer. Hang on, Becky. Wait, Becky. Sorry. Last station, go again. Okay, copy. No, I'm east of Longwonder. Marjo was asking, when she was here a few weeks ago, there was an elephant drinking out of the pool at the lodge she was staying at, and wondering if the chemicals in the pool are not poisonous or not bad for the animals and the elephant. But no, they're not. I don't know what the pool, I don't know the camp, I don't know the pool, I don't know. But no matter what type of filter it might have had, because there are only really 2, there's a freshwater chlorine filter and there's a saltwater minimal chlorine filter that is used in this part of the world. And either way, neither one of them would cause any problem with an elephant. Maybe the chlorine will kill a bit of bacteria in his stomach, but the fact is that an elephant's digestive system is such that there's so much going through it that, and it's changing so quickly that what it takes in is not going to stay there for very long. So, no, I don't think it's much of an issue. Norman? He's coming to show us the branch that he's chosen. I suppose all this is in the way, huh? Yep. Okay, well let's move back a little bit and we'll get some space to walk through here, because I think that's what he's asking us to do. Okay, you can come out now. either shake or push that. I think he's going to shake it. There's a torchwood that looks like it wants to shake, and maybe there's fruit on the torchwood that he wants to get, and I want to see this. No, he stopped. Sorry, I'm going over some of the terminalia saplings, but they just pop up underneath. Like that. Come here into this thing. It's making the spot where we were playing with the wildebeest bone. Almost as though he knows I was there and he's going to smell me. Because I was barefoot. I'm sure it was right here in these trees. Where he's coming now. About bones, but he's not coming here exactly, he's bypassing it. See that skull? Yeah. Thornybush out of the way. No, he's bypassing it. Going up the Central Road, Central Cut Line. Hello, Peggy. There we go, just behind where I was earlier. I was hoping he might come and smell my footprints. Peggy and company in West Virginia or just Virginia? Peggy was asking how much he weighs. Virginia, thanks for heading up the road now, crossing the road, heading towards the cut line. Peggy, I haven't the faintest idea how much he weighs, and saying how do we go about weighing? We don't. It can cause a serious sense of human failure in elephants. See, he was about to shake this torchwood. He did the same thing to this torchwood that he did to another one. But they don't have fruit on. Oh, there he's doing it. Oh, can we just please, there is the chain. Camera, get that. Okay, he's actually succeeded in dropping a few torchwood fruits. They're so tiny that even if he got 100, he really wouldn't affect his diet in any way. But he's now going to stand there and find each one. It's almost, I've seen elephants do this. There's so many different fruiting trees that they shape them like that, and it's an art. I tell you something, it takes 20-something years for an elephant to learn after puberty to learn how to shake a tree like that, because it's not an easy thing. I can explain it to you a little bit better. It's almost as though this tree is growing in a way that helps elephants shake it. But the weirdest thing is, in all the times that I've seen elephants faking to, whether they're palm trees for the palm fruit, baobabs for the baobab fruit, torchwoods, no matter what, or marulas, I've seen them do it to marula trees to get the marula. And now he's scratching the back of his ear. If I go forward, is this tree in your way? You've got the branches here. Let me just an inch. So we've got our shadow on him. You can see just behind him on the termite mound. Hello everybody. Yes, hello.
Okay, now I can see it.
Okay, very cheesy. But it's almost as though they count the number of fruits that fall, and they will stand there and look around for every fruit that's fallen. Yeah, he's going to go for it again. What's this? Photographing this. Nothing came down there, boyki. There's our shadow on his body now. Okay, wait, wave, I'm going to take a photograph. Come on, Norman. Now he's looking for fruits now. They're tiny, and torchwood fruits are actually very, very small. Mostly eaten by civets this time of the year. They are edible for us humans, not very palatable, very stringy. But they could provide nourishment in an emergency. Very little flesh around the sort of the stone and the nuts inside, and I don't know if the nuts, the actual dicotyledons themselves, or cotyledons, dicotyledons. That is a beautiful tree. I have had bigger torchwoods, but that is a special torchwood there. He's finding the fruits that he dropped the first time he shook it. You see, when an elephant is headbutting a tree, like sometimes they put their trunks up over their head, and sometimes they tuck their trunks underneath them. It's a personal preference for elephants which way they do that. And they've got to time their headbutting exact, because depending on the flexibility of the tree, they've got to hit it as it is swinging back. And the more flexible, the more it's going to swing, so the slower their headbutts have to be. But a tree like this, he's got to do it really fast, because the tree is quite rigid. And it's quite a remarkable thing to see elephants learning in their first 20 years or so, learning how to shake a tree to get the fruits down. It can't be too comfortable for an ellie. I'm sure it possibly it's not something that they do a lot, especially because they're putting all their weight behind it and they're pushing against a very rigid structure. I know, the picture.
Everyone else just drives off.
That's right. I think that's the key to observing things and to viewing wildlife, is that don't be in a rush. Stop and look and listen and wait with things. Spend time with things. We've still got vehicles rushing around us all over the place, because there's sightings in the north and there's that leopard sighting in the south. They did finally find a kill that Malawan female made, and I guess I'm actually scared to go there because I know how thick that bush was. I'm scared to go and see what trees have been squashed just in the name of getting in there to see that leopard, because I couldn't get in there. I'm going to see if we can go down there. We'll see what it looks like. I'm going to leave young Norman. Did you drop something or did I?
Yeah, I think I dropped it.
Not that I also can't think of dropping it. Didn't move. But anyways, alright, let's sit with Norman a bit while I talk on the radio and see. There's been such a lineup for that leopard. Everybody's been racing down there. And I'll answer a question. Katie in Nebraska. Okay, what's Nebraska well known for? Nebraska. Ice hockey. Nebraska. Aren't you up there near North Dakota or something? Nebraska. Katie? What language am I speaking to the other guys? Well, on the radio we're only really supposed to speak English, but the other guy that was with me in the sighting with the elephant was somebody from the river lodge near us. His name is Hendrik, and I was speaking Shangaan with him, his language, and I could speak any one of maybe 4 languages with him, 5 actually. We could speak English, we could speak Afrikaans, we could speak Zulu maybe, and Fanigalo or Shangaan. We chose Shangaan because there are very few other people that are going to understand Shangaan. So when we want to talk about things that we don't want anybody to know, we'll talk Shangaan. Because I still baffle people. I go to Acornhoek where I bank, and I talk to everybody there in Shangaan, and in the supermarket, they're baffled that there's this white dude that speaks Shangaan. A lot of the guys learn a lot of words in Shangaan, and they learn a lot of sort of. But I think mostly it's because I've lived here most of my life. Most of my friends are my Shangaan, and I spend so much time listening to the language that I can understand it more than I can even speak it. I don't really like the direction you going, dude, because you're moving away from our signal range. But he is heading north towards the other herds that are up north. So I'm going to leave him be, because he's heading into some thick bush. It's getting to that time of day when you want to give an elephant some teeth because the night is falling. There's a beautiful sunset about this, so we're going to go onto this little open patch of ground and see if we can get a glimpse of the mountains and the sun before, I don't know, maybe we head down. I'm going to find out what's happening with that English hunting. That is pretty. I don't think there's going to be much chance of us getting in there. So many vehicles on standby, everybody was racing down there. And I can only imagine that every road has got one vehicle sitting on it waiting for their turn. I think they're on channel 8 actually. Which channel is that English fighting? They're saying 8 Crocodile Quest. Channel 8. All the 8. Which station was where? That's too far away. Not going to hear anything. Quite a nice. Make it all pretty. Make it pretty. Sorry, viewers. Sorry about that. Oh, are you blowing it up? Hello, Ellen in Illinois. Can you identify male and female crocodiles by looking at them like you can with other animals? No, you cannot. It's almost impossible to identify crocodile sex by looking at them. There is normally a test. Let's see. No, the only way to do it really is to do a physical examination. Unfortunately, as gruesome, as weird as it may sound, but in terms of appearances, that's really pretty, hey? Yeah. Welcome to an African sunset. Oh, and look, the drongos. The drongos.
Brilliant.
Two drongos chasing each other like two little bluebirds in a forest. In a Julie Andrews movie. And Vivian in Chicago asking the same question. How do I know it's a Gertrude, not a Gregory? And a very good question. And Paulette Mildred and not an Eldred from Pennsylvania. Okay, so I get it. A lot of you asking the question, how do I know it's a Mildred crocodile and not an 15 movers online. Maybe I heard wrong. Okay, switching that radio off. Way too distracting. So, a very appropriate question, since I keep saying that it's impossible to tell the sex of a crocodile, and I can only say that it is a female, it's a Mildred, because I spoke to one of the guys by the name of Juan, and in most other parts of the world you probably call him Juan, like a Spanish name, Juan, and in Spanish we call him Juan, but somehow here in South Africa we pronounce things differently. So yes. Around mid to late 20s. Sorry, I don't think he's quite 30 years old. Mid to late 20s is normal. So we can go a little bit of that way home and then take Dacre Road. Yeah, let's do this. We can't go all the way down Central Coastline to get to where that English sighting is. So we'll go as far as we can and then cut through on Dacre Road. How many teeth does a crocodile have? I guess I'm going to have to look that one up, but I don't think there's any set figure, because, as I say, teeth are constantly falling out and being replaced, and they don't have only 2 sets of teeth. I mean, I'm not too sure how many times teeth can be replaced, but as far as I know, right up into their older years, there's still teeth that are growing and still being replaced. I don't know. Guess I've got to look that one up. Can't really read while I'm driving. I could consult my reptile book, but see what happens when I try and get to my book. I go off the road, so I will leave the book for now. And he's not likely to find something else and lift it to his mouth and then only use his taste, because by the time it gets to his mouth he knows what it is, because it's a waste of time to pick up something that he's not going to need to taste. Or rather, he's not going to pick up something that he does need to taste. He's going to pick up something that he already knows what it tastes like. Okay, I didn't do that. I didn't sneeze. Don't blame me, dude. Look how he turns around and looks at me. I didn't do anything. I didn't sneeze. I was just talking. Okay. Maybe that's what it was. Going to the leopard. Guess we better get out of the way. And which station behind me?